So today's episode is about the practical VTI investing. We are going to read the VTI chart. This is what you'd get online. We are going to use Yahoo Finance because it's free. So I'm just going to record my screen. Then I'm going to go through this whole chart. On your browser, just type Yahoo Finance. Once you get to Yahoo Finance, on the tickers, you're going to type VTI. On this part, then it's going to open the Vanguard Total Stock Market Fund ETF shares VTI. So we're going to start with this first part. On top you see the New York Stock Exchange, and you see it is written delayed quote. Yahoo Finance is free, so they take time to relay the information to this website where you can read. But if it was your broker, it would be the real feed, okay, real-time feed. So that is why you see on top here it's written delayed quote. Then here you see it is written at close, and there's the price 318.20. okay. The time here will depend on wherever you are in the world. It will be different depending on wherever you are in the world. So what does it mean when they say at close? This was the price of VTI when the markets closed on this date, okay? When we are trading, usually on weekends, the market is closed. Then they will open later. So I'm recording this when the market is still closed. Then I hope by the time I finish recording, the market will be open, so you'll see the change. So as at close, this was the price of VTI, okay? And what you see here, 1.90, was the change, okay, the change of VTI between the price at close and the previous day. There was a drop of 1.90, and that drop is 0.59%, okay? Good. Now we get to this other part where you see after hours. Now I told you that you trade VTI when the market is open, but there are people who trade after hours. As a beginner, it's not really good to trade after hours if you still don't know what you're doing, because the price may jump suddenly. Okay, I will explain that as we continue. Now, after hours, there are people who are trading, and this was the change in price. There was an increase of 0.12, which is 0.04%. So you see, that's why you see there are two prices of VTI. There's 318.20 and 318.32. Now you know the difference when they say at close and after hours, and why it is delayed quote. So as a beginner, before we move on to this other section, I want to explain why you should avoid the after hours. Now, why do some people trade after hours? You know, during that time, after the markets have closed, during the official working day, and the markets have closed, now we get to the after hours. Big news may come out, okay, or about some earnings, or the company may be doing something. So that is the time the big news has been released. So the mutual funds, other big institutions, at that time, they can react very fast when the news just comes out. But during after hours, not so many people are trading. We don't have many buyers and sellers, which means the price can jump up or down suddenly. And also the spread is so big, the bid and ask price. So you may end up paying more just because you're trading after hours. The volume is low. So if you can avoid trading after hours, it's better if you're still a beginner, as you're still learning how it all works. So let's get to this section here. We have 1D. This is 1 day. This is the price change of VTI just for 1 day, okay? The change. Then we have 5 days. We have 1M, which is 1 month. Then 6 months. Then YTD. YTD means year to date. From 1st January to today, okay? Year to date, to the date today, when you're reading the chart. That is from 1st January. But 1 year means 12 months back, okay? You're going to count it 12 months back, the performance of VTI. Then we have 5Y is 5 years. Then we have all. So when do you check 1 day? When you're checking 1 day to 5 days, let me click, you see the change in price is 0.01%. Then here you see the date, the close and open price, the high and the low, and the volume. You see the close, it opened at the price 316.31 and closed at 316.31, okay? The high 316.31, the low 316.12. Then let's get to 1M, 1 month. There was a change in 1.79, okay? You get to 6 months. Now, when do you use these different time periods, okay? When you're using like 1 day, 5 days, you're just looking at what is happening currently to VTI, how it's behaving, how it's performing in the market. When you are going to at least some medium term, like 6 months to a year, 6 months to YTD, you want to look at the trend, okay? So we see it's +9, +10. Let's click 1 year, we see +15. Then when you get to 5 years and to all, here you want to see if VTI has had steady growth over time, okay? Since inception and how it has been growing over time. You see 2005, 2010, 2015, 2020 to 2025. So VTI has been steadily growing. So that's how you interpret those different percentages when you click on these things. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy such simple explanations as I cover all the different tickers, just to enable you to make your own decision, independent decision of whether or not you want to invest. So now I want to explain this line graph, okay? When you move along this line, like this, you see that we get different values. So when it is here, it will be different. Now I've clicked on all. We see the 474.11%, okay? So this one shows that VTI has been growing steadily over time. And then it shows you, like, let's say if you get here 2010, the date was December 2009, okay? You look at the high, it was 58.35, the low was 58.20, okay? And the volume of shares that changed hands, you see here, the 44 million, the volume of trades, okay? That was what was happening. So that is how you read this line graph, okay? Let's move to something else, whether we can see something different. So this one shows VTI has had steady growth over time. But let's check the 5 year. Let's see what changes. Also, VTI has had steady growth, but there was a time here it went down. This was in October. We had a low of 181.82, a high of 196.91, but then it recovered again, went up. There was a time also it went down to 273, but later on it went up, okay? Let's get to 1 year, which is interesting. So this is the change in 1 year. You also see down here, we put this, you see October, November, December, February, March, April, May. You see the way it's written because you are using the 1 year. So when you move here along the 1 year, you see there was a time it went so low during the year. It was 247.08. But then later on, it recovered. So if you are holding VTI, it's good to hold VTI for the long term, because it may hit this price and you make a very fast emotional decision to let go of VTI, but later on it recovers. So that's how you just check the chart to see the performance, and you can make your own decision whether VTI is good or not. But If you see the market has jumped suddenly, don't be so fast. Don't panic sell and get out, and you step out, and maybe just the next month, VTI, look, it went down April, and then see what happened just the next month, even before the next month starts around here, okay? Even before the next month, at this point, you see on 21st of April, it started going up, and it has gone up, you see, up to date. So that's how you read that line. You just move along and look at the behavior of VTI. So let's scroll down because you've understood everything here, the top part, okay? There's something also we can understand this section here. So here where they say previous close, okay? It shows you the price the previous day, okay? The previous close. The open is what the price opened at today, okay? When the market is live, the trading is going on, the market is open, it's live, okay? The open price. Then we have the bid and the ask. So I want us to focus here first before we move on to the rest. What is the bid price? The bid is what buyers want to pay for a share, okay? Here you see 318.22 times 400. So first understand the bid price is what buyers want to pay for a share. The ask price is what sellers want to be paid for a share. I want to sell it at this price. I can sell it at this price. That is what the sellers are saying, the ask price, okay? So we have the bid and the ask. The difference between the bid and the ask is the spread. Remember when I was telling you, if you trade after hours, the spread may be very large. And you may lose a lot because there's lower volume of people trading. Why? So the volume comes here. You see where we have times 400. We have bid 318.22 times 400. So Yahoo Finance lists these shares in board lots. And they're in board lots of over 100. So when you see 318.22 times 400, it means this. We want to, the buyers are asking for 400 times 100, that is 40,000 shares at the price of $318.22. Okay? I hope it's clear up to that point. And down here, you see that the sellers want to offer 200 times 100. Remember the board lot, the lot is 100. So it's 200 times 100. Those are 20,000 shares, okay? What is available for you to buy is, the total amount is the 20,000 shares. That is 200 times 100 at the price of $318.32. Okay? Now, when you see that the bid, the buyers, you see that the volume that the buyers want is high. It means more people are showing interest in the product, in VTI, the ticker VTI. There's more interest. But if you see so many people want to sell, it is higher on this other side, okay? It means they want to dispose of. The sellers are eager. They want to dispose of, okay? So that's how you interpret these two numbers. So next we get to this point here where we have the days range, 52-week range, volume and average volume. Please, if you have any question about the bid and ask in the comment section, just share, I will answer. But you can pause, rewind, listen to it again, you will understand. You shouldn't be in such a rush to understand. Just take your time, you'll get it. Now, we have the days range, 317.29 to 319.70. That is the high and the low of the day. The price was dancing between those two ends, okay? 317.29 and 319.70. Similar to the 52-week range, 52 weeks is a year. So the 52-week range is from 236.42 to 320.40. And we've checked the chart up there. You can go confirm, okay? Then we have the volume. The volume is the number of shares changing hands, okay? Now, there's average volume. The average volume is the number of shares, the trades going on during the day, okay? So this one, you check it. If you see that the average volume is higher than the volume, for instance, the average volume here is 3,429,000. Here we see 3,414,000. When the average volume is higher, it means the interest was not that high, okay? If the volume goes higher than the normal average volume, on average, this is how it performs. This is the volume. These are the shares, the trading that is going on, what is changing from one hand to another. Now, if this one is higher, it means that today, this particular day, there was a lot of trading. There was high interest in trading VTI. If it is lower, the interest was not that high. That is how you interpret these two numbers, the days range and the 52-week range. So look at this now. The market is open. You see? Real-time price. Remember what we were looking at? We were looking at the delayed quote when the market was closed. So now, we are moving down to... Let me continue explaining this part where we have the net assets. When you come to the net assets here, where you see the 1.91 trillion, that is the total value of all money in the fund. So when this net value is big, it means that many investors trust it and it is low cost. Okay, and you can also use it to compare with others in the same category. Then we have, for instance, right now, the net asset value you see is 318.08, but it has opened at, the market is opened, it's 319.56. You'll see here, up here, real-time price, what they are showing. So here, is it a bargain or is it a discount? Because it's above the net asset value, this is at a premium. You're going to get the ETF at a premium. If it was below, it would be a bargain. But always check what is happening for you to understand. Why is the price higher or lower? Then next we have the PE ratio, the price to earnings ratio. So what do you use this for? If you want to compare VTI and other investments in the same group, by the way, remember to like and subscribe because I'll cover the other tickers and I'll do a comparison side by side, just comparing all these numbers. So the PE ratio helps you to understand which investment is expensive, okay? So if the PE ratio is high when you are doing the comparison, it means that people are paying more for those earnings. If it is low, it means it is cheaper. So I'll do a comparison of the PE ratio of this ETF VTI to other similar funds to see whether it is expensive or it is cheaper. Now the yield shows you how much money the fund pays you each year. That the 1.19, it can be from 1.1, 1.19, even up to 1.2. Now these figures change because I told you everything in investing, it depends on the performance of the economy and how the market is behaving, what the investors are doing, what is happening. So these numbers always change. So you may watch this episode and the yield is 1.19. Sometime later you watch it and the number is different. So it will keep on changing like that. Then the YTD, year-to-date daily total return, just shows you how the fund is growing, okay? Then we come to this section where you have the beta or beta, and you see it is 1.03. Now, if it is above 1, it means the fund is it bounces more in the market, okay, compared to other funds. If it is greater than if it is greater than 1, it bounces a lot. If it is less than 1, it is less wobbly, like bouncing, the price bouncing in the market, okay. But if it is just 1, it is not, it is just stable, okay. It is just same as the market average. Then we have the expense ratio of VTI. I explained this extensively in the part 1 and part 2. So it charges 0.03% as the total of the investment. That is to manage the fund, okay. It is cheap. So we move to the next section. I will just scroll down. So this is the other thing I want to cover, the performance overview of VTI. I'm just learning how to read these three tabs here, these 3 buttons here. You will learn so much about how VTI is performing in the market. So you see it is written trailing returns as of 31st of August 2025, and the category is large blend. So here we are comparing the performance of VTI to the performance of similar funds, okay. Now, the year-to-date return, the YTD, that is from 1st January to now, the performance of VTI, you see it is positive, it's 10.51%, and similar funds in the same category as VTI, it's 7.61%, which means VTI has been performing well from 1st of January this year. 1 year return is like 12 months back. Here you see that also VTI is performing well. You see 15.78%, and the similar funds in the same category, large blend, it is 13.51%. Then you get to the 3-year return, you see VTI is also performing, it is 18.79, and 15 for the other, for funds in the similar category, it's 15.11%, which means for all this, VTI has shown consistently good performance compared to other funds in the same category. So this can help you to make a decision of whether to invest or not if you want to compare it to other funds in the same category. So, and remember I told you that you can invest in VTI from wherever you are, as long as you have a broker who is authorized to trade on the New York Stock Exchange. So I'm also going to cover these other tickers, the VOO, the VTSAX, the VGT, the BND, the VON, the ITOT. I'm going to cover all of them. So today I've covered the performance overview. By just looking at it, next time you open a chart, you will understand what is going on. Then going back up, I've covered all this, the net asset value, yield, and what the significance is and what is happening. And right now the market is open, so that's why you see a change. Okay, so you see the market is open. Let me scroll up again. That is why you are seeing the real-time price. But now you understand all these terms, the at close, after close, and how to read the chart. So from the performance overview, you scroll down again, and now you get the section where you have the holdings of VTI. You can see the different percentages, what is in VTI. I covered this extensively in the other episode, and also the sector weightings. Now this is important to know because maybe you see the price has dropped suddenly. Now if the price drops suddenly, then you come to this section right here. You look at the weight of different sectors, okay? Because remember, I told you how VTI performs in the market depends on the sector cycles. Maybe there's something good happening in technology. It means VTI will be performing well. Or if technology is affected, look at the weight of technology. It's 33.1%, and compared to these other sectors. If something good is happening and it affects technology, it means VTI will be performing well. If something bad happens and it affects technology, because it carries a very huge weight, it means VTI may start underperforming. So this is what you're supposed to look at. You look at what is happening in energy, what is happening in the financial sector, what is happening in healthcare. So this one just helps you to understand what is included in VTI.